So giving you something when you failed a basic gameplay mechanic just kind of feels weird. I do not have a red viper. And that's so where what you're saying right now is why I feel that I don't have a way to get linear up right now. This is irritating. See, in my opinion, last hitting is playing the opponent. Like, it legitimately is. Yeah, I literally do not have a way to get linear up right now. This is really obnoxious. I should have been healing her. But last hitting is playing your opponent. You have to be able to safely get in and last hit. And you're also looking to actively disrupt your opponent. So it's not just... There's very little times in League where you have what is known as a farming lane, where you and your opponent are just last hitting and neither of you are attacking each other. It's why there's like a couple of champions like Nasus and Tryndamere, who their whole thing is to farm, and they're very difficult to disrupt. And they're a huge deal because you can't disrupt them, so you're trying to just grow as much as you can while dealing with them. Well, anybody can punish you if you just go to farm the lane. If you're not paying attention to your opponent, you're just trying to sit there farming, any champion is going to punish the hell out of you. You have to be able to play around the champions. And I think that's, I think that's kind of the difference, is that this could be bad. Damn. Well, Teemo Rose's anti-meta pick for a different reason. Teemo blinds, and Nasus' entire thing is his melee Qs. And Nasus is also very melee, and Teemo's very ranged. So Teemo can do a lot to deal with Nasus. This is going to be a very unfortunate fight. So it's, Right. But if you can't take away Nasus' kit, or if you can't stop him from farming, which you cannot stop Nasus from farming, it will never happen. He will always catch up eventually, given enough time. Is Gray down? Oh, so close. Okay. No, all of you, die. Yep. So it's, Teemo is a counter pick, but the whole thing about Teemo is he's stopping Nasus from farming, because if you let Nasus farm, Nasus wins. So that's that whole, that is the concept there. But again, that's entirely based on the concept of farming and last hitting being an important thing in League. I'm also amazed at this tribesman. It's more direct League talk, Shadow. Nasus is he's a tank type character. And the idea behind him is that one of his he's a big tank. He's really good at just fighting in general. That's his major thing. But Nasus, one of his things is that one of his skills slows you down so you can't get away from him. One of his skills deals damage as long as you're in an area of effect, and it also shreds your armor, so he does more damage to you. But his big thing is that his basic ability buffs his next attack, and every time he kills something with it, he gets more damage on that ability for next time. So his entire kit is about sitting there in lane, farming for days, because every time he kills something with this ability, it gets even stronger. So what you end up getting is a tanky character who takes time to build up, but he ends up being this diesel engine. He revs up, and then he goes hard. And he's really hard to shut down once you get him going. And the problem is that the damage that he builds is not restricted to champions. He deals damage to towers, too. So a Nasus can be a tank that you can never kill that does damage. He can just go into lane and just push it and take down towers, forcing you to respond to him. But his entire early game is not about engaging his opponents. It's about, there we go. It's not about damaging his opponents, it's about playing safe enough to keep farming. No, he's not at all broken. A Nasus is reasonably easy to deal with, but you have to deal with him either early, which means shutting him down, which is hard. But if you shut him down, you may be able to keep him down. But also, certain types of champions are very good at shredding him. But his whole thing is that all he does is farm for the first 60% of the game. So if another team is a very fast-paced team that are very good at taking things out early, Nasus just doesn't contribute to the game at all. So when you play Nasus, you are committing to a long-term game. So we're talking more direct champion versus champion matchups and how they interact. But the point I was making is that a good Nasus has to know how to last hit, because he's not going to be fighting for a while. He's farming. And so he has to be able to get in, get his hit, and get out, because his opponent's not going to let him do anything. His opponent's going to be simply trying to get him off his farm. So, therefore, that last hitting becomes a mechanic that is extremely important to gameplay. Alternatively, when Nasus starts building up and his attack starts doing shit tons of damage, now his opponent needs to get good at last hitting, because his opponent is going to have to get in and get out, or is going to have to farm under tower and not lose his farm to tower, so on and so forth. So I'm not saying that's a perfect mechanic, but I find it a really interesting mechanic that forces gameplay. And I think also last hitting makes it so you can't just sit back and not engage minions. You have to be hitting them, which means you have to be near your opponent. You don't get to kind of hang out in the back. If you do hang out in the back, you're losing out on money, which means losing out on equipment, which means you're not doing well. But also, if I remember correctly, HOTS doesn't have equipment, which is another major portion of it. You just have your skills. HOTS has talents. Yeah, where you do like in-game achievements, right? I don't know necessarily if there's any champion I think off the top of my head where one item breaks them. Like, we were actually talking about it last night. I'm trying to remember, is the talent the thing where when you level up, you choose one talent over the other to customize your character for that game? I'm so annoyed that Linear is not getting any of this experience, but I have literally 0 ways to raise her right now. Which kind of sucks, but I don't feel like leaving this dungeon. Don't worry about it, Shadow. We're comparing different games and different ways of doing things, and I think one of the reasons why Base doesn't appreciate last hitting as much is that his preferred game doesn't use money. Money is not a thing in that game. Your equipment is not a thing in that game. You have other ways to customize your character mid-game. And I prefer the equipment system. Okay, there we go. Hey, look, another monster farm. Who'd have guessed? You've been getting a lot of monster farms. Like this, why didn't I just dive punch? Whoops. And I don't mind the fight heavy game, because HOTS basically, to me, is... It's League of Legends without the 20-minute build-up. You just go straight into the team fights. But I like that build-up. You know what? I'm dive punching anyway. Screw this nonsense. Give me a freaking red Viper. Or give me Mag's healing hands, please. Give me that. Yeah, HOTS games for the last 20 minutes. I like the 20 to 30 minute average, personally. I also felt, yeah, this is definitely a personal feeling and not necessarily indicative of how the gameplay actually is, but I feel that League is a little bit more, strategic than HOTS is. Towers should hurt. If you're just killing towers with no punishment, something's wrong. Now, I like the strategy in League, in that you have to actually kind of plan a little bit ahead, react a little bit better. I'm thinking more, not necessarily like before battle strategy, as in like field general strategy. You have to respond to what's going and work together. When was last? No, you know, I probably haven't played HOTS in 2 years. You're probably right. That's about right. Because I took a 2-year break from League, and I stopped playing HOTS before I stopped playing League. I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it. I very much enjoyed Here's the Storm. I thought it was a lot of fun. Those sound like good changes. Those absolutely sound like good changes. Come on, get... I'm trying to remember if you can even get Red Vipers mid-dungeon. I don't know if you can. Linear might just be down for the foreseeable future. But yeah, Shadow, kind of going back to what I was saying to you earlier, find some friends that play with them, do not play ranked, just play casually and have fun with it, turn off all chat, and the game gets very fun. It may take a couple of rounds for you. Let's say 10 rounds is my conservative estimate. But it may take a couple rounds for the game to accurately match you against people. Can I buy the Red Vipers out of town? Oh, yeah, I can. It's just so rare that I need them. I just don't happen to have one. And usually it's not linear going down like she did, because usually I'm paying more attention. I would have gotten her up. But the problem is, I don't have doctor hands. I don't have Mag's healing hands. So because of that, Mag can't raise people. And I don't legitimately remember if Gray even has an ability that heals people. Gray can raise Mag. I don't remember if he can raise anybody else. I mean, the Nexus in League is absolutely a joke, but the point is that you destroyed so much getting there that of course it is. I mean, that's why League's, core doesn't do anything, is because you already fought through this many other things to get there. But yeah, you can go in and enjoy the game with, with no problems. The community is only toxic if you let them be, if you actively engage in it. Play with your friends, enjoy your friends, be done with it. My play group, we've got like 10 people in it, 9 people in it. So we kind of shuffle through players. Players are on different levels of ability. And, it's kind of constantly us doing really stupid shit. So sometimes we play, sometimes we actually go in and try to play realistically. We actually try to be good at the game. And to lesser or greater degree, and sometimes it actually works. And then sometimes we just go in and we're just like, screw it, let's just screw around. We're not really trying all that hard. We're playing champions that we shouldn't be playing. Different champions tend to be good in different lanes, but some of that is pure meta nonsense. Like, they're good in those lanes because we say they're good in their lanes. And some champions are legitimately not good elsewhere. So as a big jungle player, there's certain champions that I wouldn't bring to the jungle because their kit does not help survive in the jungle. But sometimes I'll just bring one in. And it can be fun to do weird stuff like that. It can be fun to do the all-tank meta or all-mage meta and stuff like that. They have downsides, but sometimes we'll just have fun and we'll screw around. Make Nico a jungler? I've heard someone say as much. I don't know how realistic that is. There are no more items on this map. Okay. I may, if I find an exit, I may leave and come back in. Her passive's useless unless she's a support. Until teamfight phase. So yeah, I'd highly recommend, messing with it. Especially if you go in, as you're learning it, go and play against some bots. The bots are not smart, I'll tell you that right off the bat. But they do give you a reasonable chance to learn how to do some of the basic game mechanics. And then you can kind of see, okay, will this work out for me or not? And then gradually go dig into people. But I enjoyed it. Since I've been coming back to the game and playing the game more. There's a lot of enemies right here, by the way. Since I've been playing the game more. I'm playing a couple of games, a couple of games a night or every other night. And we've been having almost exclusively fun. I haven't had a night I can think of where stuff went super salty. I've had a couple of nights end on a bad note has happened, but I haven't had a super salty night that I recall. I'm really annoyed that enemies are not dying in one hit right now. But I actually got to play like mid last night. It didn't go well because apparently I no longer remember how to play mid. Okay, cool. We actually killed someone. Kind of weirded out by the fact this wolf didn't attack, but okay then. Got multiple puppy-aged dogs outside my door who are all yipping at each other. You may be able to hear it, and if you can, I apologize. There's literally nothing I can do about these dogs. Generally, they're well-behaved, but sometimes they just kind of decide to have some fun. My dog, on the other hand, is in my lap. She tired herself out learning how to play fetch earlier today. Linear, I really need you to stop napping. Can you at some point get off the ground? The problem is I really do not want to go back to town. Because I'm going to lose forward progress. I'm going to lose several floors doing that. So I'm trying to avoid going back to town, but the longer we go on, the farther and farther behind Linear is going to be. Not that that matters too much, but also not having my support, not having my buffer here to heal my allies and buff us up. It's also one less person who can kill entire parties. She's also not getting any of this TP, which also is terrible. There's a lot of reasons that that Linear being down right now is just a terrible, terrible thing that annoys me. Die, please. Why are you not dead, you freaking spider? I shot you with a gun. Not 100% sure why that spider did not attack that turn. Who are some of my league go-tos? To be 100% honest with you, I make a point in games like League to play as many characters as I possibly can. I do have mains, but I play all over the place on purpose. So in top lane, I play a lot of Nasus, Yorick, Shen. Yeah, those are my top lanes. Mid lane, Veigar, Lux, Heimerdinger, and Ziggs. Bot lane, basically any AD carry. I play them all. But I've been specializing lately in Jhin because he's so much fun. Also Caitlyn. Support, usually Lux, Nautilus. I've been playing a lot of Senna recently. In jungle, I am all over the place. Jungle's my main, so I play everything in there. You'll see a lot of Kayn, a lot of Nautilus, a lot of I've been playing Set recently because he's a very fun jungle. Monkey. Like there's a ton of people I play. Like my pool of champions I play regularly is like 40 or 50 champions. So yeah, I play a ton of different champs. And that's one of the things I actually try to do. When I play any game like League of Legends, I mean Final Fantasy did the same thing. I actively try to learn every lane and every class or every job or something like that in order to actively make sure I can play against that, or in the case of Final Fantasy, play with them better. But I actively try to learn every character if I possibly can. Finally starting to see Nail and Royale show up, so that's the one that heals for 1,000 each time instead of 500. Depending on how things go, I mean, this dungeon is going to take the better part of forever. We're on floor 13 of 19. So chances are I'm probably gonna, like, do the storyline post-dungeon, and then that'll probably be it for Evolution for the day, because the next dungeon's just gonna take even longer. So I might stream some League instead. See, the only characters I actually liked in HOTS, and this is just a personal thing. It has nothing to do with the other characters. But because they are the only characters that I knew and could actually connect with, the only characters I played or enjoyed were the StarCraft characters. Because I didn't know anyone else, so none of them felt impactful to me. Hey, look, it's yet another Monster Zoo. And also, I mean, I'm being honest with you, like, the StarCraft characters have such a wide variety. I played them. I forget her name, but the Siege Tank was actually one of my favorites because of just how different she is. Very unique. I played a lot of the Siege Tank, played a lot of Artanis. At least I think it's Artanis. But the, grabbing people and flipping them was just incredibly, satisfying. I need to build some FP back. Sounds about right. It sounds just like an Annie. Annie's Q. Annie Q? Yeah, Annie's Q. I mean, that's what that should be. Learning how to play your character well should reward you. I was playing last night. I was a mid laner. I was playing as a Yasuo. And I originally thought he was not a particularly good Yasuo because he just wasn't doing anything. And no, turns out he was evaluating me to see how good I was. And then he started showing off how good he is. And I couldn't hit him with anything for the remainder of the game. I'm completely fine with easy to learn, difficult to master. Like, I'm very fine with it. Like I said, I like HOTS. I think my major issue with HOTS was just that it didn't have the build-up I was looking for, and I wasn't looking for a game that is non-stop team fights. I was looking for something else. I liked a lot of the stuff they did. I really enjoyed, like, the objective-based gameplay. Hey, Jack. I thought the objectives were fantastic. I thought the unique maps were extremely interesting. I killed Linear. I didn't kill Linear. A wolf killed Linear. At least I think it was a wolf. I don't have any way to get her up right now, so she's just kind of taking a nap for the time being. Also, hi. She's just taking a nap. She's fine. No big deal. Does she still get EXP? No. She had 0 EXP, 0 TP. So, unfortunately, she's flat down. Gray, I don't think, has any way to revive her. Mag does not currently have any way to revive her. I have no revival items. There is no revive ability in a dungeon. So unless I get a red Viper drop, which I don't even know if you can get that in the game. Unless I get a red Viper drop, I cannot raise her at this time. I could leave the dungeon and revive her that way, but that would cause me to lose floor progress. So I'd have to go back several floors. You can get in the dungeon. I've just been unlucky then. So I just literally have no way to get Linear up right now. So she's just taking a nap. Should we lag out her level? Doesn't actually matter. In any way at all. We don't care what level Linear is. Her level doesn't matter. What matters is, can she heal and can she buff, and she can do that at any level. It's Mag and Gray that really have to be on level, because they actually deal damage. Linear has, like... You can get it from chests if you're lucky. I have not been lucky. The real thing that we're hating about the fact that Linear is down is that that's one less character who can kill an entire party by itself. Mag has a party kill. Gray has a party kill. Linear was about to learn her party kill. So she cannot currently... She's not able to do that right now. Which sucks. Especially because we've gotten at least one Monster Zoo every floor and a half since I started the stream. Don't they get more HP and MP per level? Technically, yeah. But she has an awful lot of HP and MP right now. So I don't really need her to have more. Yeah, basically talking about the fact that Linear's not leveling up right now. So yeah, I mean, they do get bigger and they get more stuff, but Linear's a mage, so her HP is never really going to get any better. And her MP is... Her FP in this game is actually really good at this point. Especially given the fact that I just continuously get initiatives, so she can just keep on hitting things through pan and getting FP back. She's actually spending less FP than she probably should. I should be having her cast more. Force point? Probably. Focus points. I mean, in Paper Mario, they're flower points. Okay, let's see. I'm pretty sure that TP is technical points, if I remember correctly. Is there anything interesting in this direction? Oh, hello. Apparently, Wee's gonna have a talk with this fly. Hi. Talk. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. I just have other stuff to do. Flower power? You're not wrong. Given the crap that a linear can do, flower power might actually be legitimately what that stands for. Is there another entrance to this room, please? It's a large room. Come on, I want to go to this room to my right. Let me go in. Right up here. Come on. Where is it? Okay, that room does not have just one entrance. Where is the other door? Hello.